Why don't you check out the...
Madame, that is not my area of expertise.
But the CCTV...
Correction, madame. It is, unless you know something I...
The only evidence, Inspector Naves... Did you see the alarm was sabotaged?
I have interrogated the crime scene. I prefer biological evidence.
Don't you think the disabled alarm is...
The forensic team will be along shortly. Do not bother me.
Don't you find it odd?
Life is full of odd things, madame. Fingerless gloves, white dog poo-poo, nasal hair. I prefer to...
What do you think about the American, Georges?
He is deeply suspicious.
I suppose this is...
It is a robbery gone bad. Nothing...
Surely there's a bit more...
Please abstain. The victims... Consider the impact of the bullet and note the concomitant lack of blood.
Could you give me a state?
Now is...
Thanks, Inspector. If I was going to distract Nave, I needed... And the bloodier, the better. I'd never met the gallery owner. Are you Hector Lane?
Enchanté, ma...
I'm Nico.
Ah,
What can you tell me about...
it was called La Malédiction,
Who was the artist?
a mysterious figure known only as... He was good, but not great.
What can you tell me about...
Oh, it was truly awful.
Tell me about the shooting.
Well, it all happened.
Take your time.
I can't be sure.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I'm on...
I would have tackled him, but he was...
What can you tell me about Henri's involvement with the gallery?
Dear Henri, a shining diamond. He owned the... What was...
Have you spoken to...
The Amer...
Yes.
He promised to clear up any misunderstandings the police might have about my presence here.
Did you know...
No? I suppose that's what...
Thanks for your help, monsieur. I wasn't going to get... The tomato sauce had splattered on the floor. No way was I going... I spread some of this. It looked a little bit like a... If I was going to distract... No way. I scraped up the chewing gum with my... The tomato sauce looked... Inspector!
Yes?
Have you seen the stain on the floor?
Indeed. I must investigate immediately. Interesting.
Okay, Jean.
Nice work.
I was sure the inspector hadn't seen me slip away, but I needed...
At last, Stobart.
Sorry, Mr. Rickenbacker. I've been busy.
Yeah, I damn well hope so. I'm watching the news.
Oh, anything interesting?
Yeah, someone stole a painting.
Oh, really?
And it was one you insured. What's going on?
Ah, yes. Well, the guy was armed, sir.
So?
You think I should have thrown myself in front of the thief, wrestled him to the ground, got myself shot?
Sure would have made me feel better. Anyway, find that painting, or give me a good reason not to pay out. Please tell me that.
I'm working on it. A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered poster. The poster advertised a headlined by a group called... The CCTV system was ancient. It took individual shots and it looked like I needed to enter a Nope. The calendar looked like a child's school project. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. Poor guy hadn't quite made it to his big day. Henri had ringed. The telephone was an antique rotary model. The handset looked greasy. Henri's notice board was covered with all kinds of junk. It was hard to The statue was up close and thankfully, there was no one. Very interesting. I wasn't going to open the safe without... I was fairly sure that even Henri wouldn't be silly enough to keep it hidden in the office. Now that was a safe. The sofa had clearly taken... A naked lady stared at... Henri sure liked his clutter. The frame contained... Henri sure... It was a pretty Henri had a model of a Vita. The engine capacity was displayed on the back, 1600 cc. The trinkets, the junk. Henri had... I knew it'd be wrong to leave the room without checking it thoroughly. It was a hookah pipe. I wasn't going to get... Henri had ringed 27th... Bing! I rewound the tape to before the robbery. This was the first interesting frame. It was Henri studying La Maledictio. He couldn't have had any idea what was about to happen. The image was a little fuzzy, but in the center of the painting was what looked like... I thought about what the priest said. There was Nico and I were taking a look at La Malediccio. Just funny, the painting didn't strike. It seemed that whenever Nico's... There I was, the most striking aspect. A good view of La Malediccio. There was a... The most striking... The killer caught in the act. The CCTV had caught... He knew exactly... The moment it all went horrible. This frame caught... That shot must have been before anyone else arrived at the gallery. Was Henri studying? There was definitely more to That was the earliest shot with anything interesting on it. Was Henri... The most striking... Poor Henri. Why hadn't Henri backed down when the thief pulled the gun? If that was me, I'd... The most striking... There was some writing on the front of his helmet, but I couldn't quite... The writing... The alarm should have sounded, but it had been sounded. The killer making his getaway. A logo on the front of his helmet read Waterloo Motors. That could be used. The painting was gone. There I was, taking a look at the alarm box. Hopefully I didn't look... I hadn't thought about that when I was taking a look at the camera. That was the last shot. I'd probably... I didn't want to go back into the gallery. I didn't... Henri may have been a hippie. The poster advertised... Henri had ringed twice. The phone was... I didn't want to carry the tape around. It was the paper that Nico lived for the... Carrying an ink pot around and... The ink would have stained my hands. The lighter was corroded and I decided to leave it. The pen could have been useful. I didn't need a bit. I didn't like the idea. There was nothing else in the... The folder looked interesting. It was a completion of work notice from a company called... They weren't the guys we'd recommended. Henri had gone behind our backs to choose... I'd never heard of Vera Security. The phone was... That was almost a great idea.
Hello, Vera Security?
George Stobart here, Paris Mutual.
Never heard of you.
Really? Well, I'm surprised.
Do me a favor.
The lady hung up. I was going to have to visit in person. I had no... It was a statue of a strategic... I opened the I wasn't going to open the safe. I didn't want to go back in. It was a bat. The street was I had It didn't look like I didn't want to go back into the gallery just yet. I might not get another chance to look around. It was a bad That was I opened the I needed Nope. That was It would have been I had A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered poster. The pipe was pretty. If Henri was a guitarist, then I'd underestimated him. I didn't want to go back into the gallery just yet. It was a pretty flat. It looked like Henri had saved the best booze for the back. The woman in the picture looked... The woman in... It was a It didn't look like there was anything important. I had... The phone was... It was a... Henri had ringed... The frame con... I had what I needed. I opened the... I wasn't going to open... That was... Now that was a safe. I needed a... I didn't want to go back into the gallery just yet. It was a statue of... Nope. That... That was all... It didn't look like there was... That wouldn't... It was a pretty... That was... This stuff... That was... That... That... That was almost a great idea. It was a statue. It was a statue. I opened the secret compartment was open. I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. I wasn't going to open. Now that was a safe. The 1600s. I needed a 60. That was all. That would be. Nope. I needed a better. I considered cutting the telephone. I didn't want to damn. That was almost. The street was. That was.
Hello, Vera Security?
It's George again from Paris Mutual.
Didn't I tell you not to call back? Goodbye.
I didn't want to go back. If Henri was a guitar. If on. The frame containing. That was. I didn't want. If Henri. The pipe was pretty. That was. That would. That was. In the trash can, I found a crumpled letter. It listed extravagant purchases from a variety. The address indicated that Henri lived in the chic and expensive. I decided to put the letter back. Henri's financial problems weren't.
Monsieur, sir.
I wasn't tampering with anything. I was just looking for.
That is my job.
Stobart. George Stobart.
Oh, really?
Well, no. We have plenty to lose from the robbery.
Don't patronize me, monsieur. Only a
Yeah.
Exactly. I have to get up very early in the morning.
So I see.
May I remind you, monsieur, that...
Of course.
D'accord. But remember...
Okay. Do you know anything about...
No, I have never...
It's very likely that...
Monsieur, I am a professional. Monsieur...
Yeah, California.
Of course. I think perhaps you are wanting to be like that Starsky and Butch, monsieur. Rolling around on top of...
Interesting idea. And
Indeed. You may go now.
I had some valuable... But before following up on them, I had important business to attend to. Hey, Nico. You want to grab it?
Sure.
I am pleased to announce that I have finished my preliminary. This is now an official crime. I shall be questioning all of you again in the coming. Nobody is to leave the country, particularly you, monsieur. Monsieur Lane will stay behind to help secure the premises. Mo?
Yes, Inspector.
Let them out!
Right away.
Two coffees, please.
Nice work in there, Nico. Whatever you did, it worked.
I just made a tiny distraction.
I think Nave would buy anything if it had blood on it. You know, this whole setup, the theft...
What do you mean?
Like I said,
Go on.
someone disabled the alarm.
Let me guess. La malediccio.
Exactly. The CCTV picked up an image of the thief. His helmet had the words Waterloo...
Interesting. I think I got a couple of good shots of him too, but I need to take a better look at them at home.
Great. Let me know what you find. Well, the priest thinks...
Charles, she's just great.
Yeah, you're probably right. But there's something strange going on. I found the address of the security company Henri employed. It was not the one that I recommended.
Good luck with your investigations. Well, I guess I should go. This story won't write itself. And Josh,
Yeah?
it's good to see you again.
Great to see you too, Nico. I watched her walk away. The sound of traffic, the sun... The address led me to a dead-end alley at the end of a deadbeat mall. No wonder I'd never heard of Vera's security.